Hey everyone, it's Mr. Chris from DOALG Geek. I'm here with a new unboxing video. Yes, the ever so kind folks at Steamforged Games sent us over a copy of Horizon Zero Dawn to do some unboxing, some painting, and some playing, and of course, some reviewing. So let's crack on and check out this amazing game based on this iconic IP that is Horizon Zero Dawn. That's a game on the PlayStation 4. Let's go and have a look and see what's inside this box. But in the meantime, if you're interested in checking this out for yourself, of course, head on over to the steamforged.com website and check it out for yourself, and check out some of those amazing expansions that are available too. You can see in the box, on the box cover here, you can see some of that iconic artwork that is Horizon Zero Dawn, and also on screen just an example of some of the miniatures that we're going to find inside this box. So without further ado, let's crack on. Like I said, we're doing this unboxing today as we're officially thankful from Steamforged Games for sending this over. It's really cool. I really like the artwork on this box. Looking at the box, it's really consistent all the way around. It's a really consistent theme from the IP. Of course, it's officially sponsored by PlayStation, so it's an officially licensed product. You can see that logo down here. We can see from the description on the back here that it's got a lot of miniatures, so I'll come to that in a moment. The contents. It's for ages 14 and up, for 1 to 44 players, from 60 to 90 minutes of gameplay. And of course, it's got the SFG information on here. And I've also got to remind people that it's not a toy. It is a board game. It does contain small components. Doesn't have a CE mark, so it's not suitable for younger kids. Hence the 14 and up age bracket on this game. So what have we got in this game? This contains 4 hunter miniatures, 4 watcher miniatures, 4 strider miniatures, 4 grazer miniatures, 4 scrapper miniatures, 2 shell walker miniatures, 2 sawtooth miniatures, 8 dice, 6 encounter tiles, a rule book, 365 cards, and 129 tokens. That is not light, and it weighs a fair chunk. You know, it's a decent quality box. You know, I like it just from the box perspective, but we're not got in it yet. So we're going to carefully open up the shrink wrap on this, very, very carefully, using a very sharp knife. So I'm being very careful. Now I've broken the seal, I should be able to get in there. Here we go. Don't you just love new games? Don't you just love new games? I know I do. Now, I've had this for a little while, and I finally got around to doing this. It's taken me a little while, so I do apologise for it. It's just been really busy. We've had lots of Kickstarter reviews, and they needed our attention. So this got placed on a little bit of the back burner, but now I want to get this done and out. So here we go, opening it up. It's tight on the lid, but I should be able to get it off. I think I can get into a box. He says, caught at the corner, that's why. I can smell that new board game smell already. Oh, I love new board games. I'm a little bit of a weirdo. I know I am. Right, so we're immediately presented with the rule book. Wow. Okay, so this isn't a light rule book. So it's obviously got our quick reference on the back here, which is always nice. We'll come to the rest of these components in a moment. Consistent artwork, and of course, consistent with the branding. So it means it's going to look like the game, and I should hope so too. There's a tall neck there, and then of course Aloy as well. Now, for anyone who asks, and before we go ahead, Aloy was only available in the Kickstarter version of the game. So to get the Aloy model now, you are looking at some serious moolah. Last time I checked, the figure alone was going for £40 on a certain auction sites. So we've got a lovely introduction here. It gives you an introduction to the game with some beautiful artwork, and of course a breakdown of all the components, which we've already talked about, and there's a preview of some of the miniatures that are in here. So we're going to see how this is all stored away in a moment, but we're just going to quickly go through here. It gives us a breakdown of the cards in question, some of the weapons, some of the armor upgrades, and the miscellaneous cards. I'm digging the artwork. I tell you what, it's nicely clearly laid out. It's not crammed, it's not too overwhelming. Sometimes, while it's a thick rule book, it's not overly crammed in on the pages. Sometimes I think, you know, designers try and squeeze as much into a page as possible, and it could be difficult to read and difficult on the eye, and it certainly isn't in this instance. So there's a lot to go through. I'm not going to read this whole thing out, but it does break down some of the enemy cards as well. The salvage deck, which is all a crucial part of the game, and then setting up the different scenarios and getting it starting into a game. Talks about the different phases, the encounter phase, and obviously talking right through the encounters and the hunter phase. Now, there's an element of cooperative play with this game. You are working together to catch the enemies, and of course, there's an enemy step. So, if anyone is not familiar with Horizon Zero Dawn, it's a I think it's classed as an apocalyptic world, pre-apocalyptic world, I'm not quite sure, where the land is covered with roaming robotic monsters, and the inhabitants basically catch and salvage equipment off these monsters. It's a great game. I've played through it on the PS4. I've not played the latest one, which is Horizon Zero West, but my PS4 broke, which I was proper gutted about. It's one of those things. I can't quite afford to get a new one yet. But the artwork is lovely in this, and then of course also talks about a maintenance step here as well. It also talks about a campfire phase and then victory as well, and about leveling up your characters. So there's an element to it that I really quite like already. So, and then there's obviously different alternate play modes where you've got cooperative, trade and items variants, and then it breaks down the different hunters in here. So in here you've got a Nora marksman, a Karja warrior, a Banuk survivor, and an Ozem Forge Smith. And again, like I mentioned, a quick reference in the back. So that's the rulebook out of the way. Right, okay, great start here is being provide bags. I like it when they provide bags for your tokens, because clearly you're going to be popping out some tokens and you need something to store them in. So thank you very much for that, SFG. You are already in a good marks with me. So, oh wow, look at these tokens. Wow, look at these punch boards. These punch boards are nice. And nice thick card stock as well. Now, a slight letdown. It looks like it's got a slight linen finish, but it's not as bad as I've seen on some of games where the linen finish actually has an effect on being able to see and read elements on the tokens. But it's not so bad here. They're not foil. It's not Marvel Dice Throne where they foiled the special edition cards and they're all linen and you just can't read them. So it's not that. So that's a good start. These seem a little bit small over here. I'm not quite sure what they're for, but the rest seem a reasonably good standard. I can see those getting lost quite easily, but hey. Let's see how we get on. But yeah, I like the punch board so far. A great start. This is the first one. So these other punch boards contain the maps. I don't want to pop these out to you yet because I'm going to let my wife pop these out. She'll enjoy popping this out for me. She likes those kind of things. OCD. Nice sized map tiles. I like large map tiles. It means it should fill the board and have a presence, which is always nice. Yeah. Now, if I remember correctly from what I've read, different maps like these have different scenarios. So you'll have different abilities and you'll have different terrain that affects the game. But yeah, no, they've been very clever with the punch boards here, filling out and utilizing the space on the punch boards. Very little waste. I'm happy with that. And again, they're double-sided, which is nice. Not everyone double-sides them, but of course, when you've got multiple maps and you want to utilize and make the most of your punch boards, so it makes sense. Reduces the cost. Again, another one here. There's a lot of punch boards in here, guys, but the artwork's really nice. And not whether you can quite make it out on camera, but you can see these tracks. This is where the watchers walk. The creatures move because they have set patterns of movement in the game as you're hunting them. So it's got those elements from the game and it brings it through quite nicely. I like it. Yeah, again, all double-sided. So it's a good start. Man, the punch boards keep coming. There's no shortage of punch boards. Here we go. We're at the moolah now. So that's all the punch boards out and out of the way. And look at these trays. Now, I like trays where they fit in the box. It's great. So let's have a look in this tray here. So we can see here, and I'll take the lid off. Covers the whole of the plastic as well. Oh, and it's sealed in. There we go. Wow, look at those. Look at those. Aren't they beautiful? The sculpts are excellent. But then again, I've come to expect this from SFG. They're kind of like the standard when it comes to sculpts these days. Some of the miniatures that they produce as a company are something else. Yeah, that's the grazers. Here's your watchers. Cute little devils that they are too. Now, I'm going to mention it. Some of you might be aware that there's some Lego models out there, an officially licensed Lego Model 2 from Horizon Zero West of the tall neck. And in there are Lego versions of these, the watchers. I'm going to paint these, and I'm going to be doing some videos on me painting these as well. But I will say that I can imagine the Lego pieces working and playing with this game really well. So maybe an idea there, SFG, take heed. And then of course you've got the characters. So in this one here, you've got the characters just here. I can't get them out. Here we go, fingers and thumbs. So here's some of the characters. They look really nice. The sculpts are fantastic. They really have captured the likeness from the game really well. They're not just some random little cardboard cutouts. I wouldn't expect that from Steamforged games. So let's put that lid on that one. Move that to one side. All double layered, really maximising on the space here. Crikey. There we go. Come on out. Okay, so this is one great big tray. Let's move that box out of the way. This is one massive tray here. Here we go. Off comes the lid. And here comes the models. I mean, check these out, guys. Check these out. Wow. I'm going to have fun painting these. These are stunning. That's some amazing sculpts. I'm trying to make sure the camera's all focused for you all. Wow. These are going to dry. These are going to paint up really easily as well. I might reference some of the artwork from the game to try and pick out some of the colours on this, but the majority of this will dry brush and wash and just get a really nice kind of effect and finish with a little bit of a highlight. But I'm not going to go too OCD on the paints, but I just want them to look painted for the review. And I'm enjoying painting these days. I'm working on some painting projects. So if anyone's out there and have got games that you'd like us to review with some models, and you'd like to see the models painted as well as part of the review, then hit us up. You can check that out on the website, which is of course DOALG.co.uk or diaryofalinkinggeek.com. Shameless plug there. Okay, and then we got these guys. I love these guys. I hated these in the game. God, these were tough. The first time we came across one of these in the base game, in the computer game, they were a nightmare to kill. But later on, once you've leveled up a bit, they're a bit easier. But the kit they drop and the parts you can salvage off these are great. And also nice touch is that the logo is embossed on the bottom here. I don't know whether you can make that out in the light. There you go. Yeah, which you don't see a lot of on the bottom of bases. I don't see Games Workshop doing it. So that's nice. And they're weighty. These are not cheap plastics. Here we go. Here's some of the striders. Yeah, I have already played the game. So while SFG have sent us this, and thanks again for that for the review purpose, I was given a copy for Christmas, and I have played it, but I haven't painted it because a friend of mine borrowed it and said, "Can I play it and review it for the site?" Yeah, of course. And then this came over, so I said to my friend she could keep my copy, and I'm going to have this one in its place. So yeah, really nice. And again, characters, really nice characters. I don't know whether I'm going to paint the characters or not, because the scale is quite small compared to the bigger characters, and I don't know whether I'll be able to do it very well or fully justice, but I might give it a go. I might be brave. Then of course we've got dice here, nice looking dice here, nice, simple, straightforward, nothing overly fancy. I might have liked to see something a little bit more fancy, maybe machine looking based, maybe some metal dice. Look like salvaged components might have looked nice, but can't have everything. They're not terrible. There's your dice ASMR, folks, if you like the sound of dice rattling. There you go. So they look good. I'm not going to quibble. You can't have everything anyway, but maybe a deluxe thing. you know, take heed. I've got some nice metal dice for D&D. Thank you, Critical Kit. So this looks like, if I remember correctly, this is the salvage deck. I am going to open this up because, let's face it, I'm going to play it. This is all the artwork for the items, and it's nice that the artwork and the iconography matches up to the game quite well. If it isn't like for like, I'd be very surprised, because of course it's officially licensed, so it's going to match up. So trophy shots, you know, all sorts of components here for salvage. So that's nice. That just fits in there beautifully. The dice go in there as well, so let's put things back in as we go through it. Now, this is interesting. So there's a foam spacer here, these cards. Now, does it split down? That's the question. No, just padding, because of course we've got more cards here. I'm not going to go through every single card here, but well, I will open the packs. Some dividers would be nice, but there's space for them to be sleeved. I like to think all of this, there's the character cards, stamina cards, damage cards, free deep freeze cards. So there's different character decks. So there's different character for each different deck for each character. And I believe, if I remember correctly, those two contain your 4 characters. So there's your character cards, and then you've got all your extra bits here, in here as well. And they've got different backs to represent it, if I remember correctly. So you've got some monster cards in there. Yeah, you've got different backs. Okay. So different backs to represent. So they're all part of the same deck as are them. So yeah. And then in the bottom here, we've got the monster cards. Typical. Slip down. Oh wow! So these are double-sided, if I remember correctly. Careful, don't rip. There you go. So the sawtooth's double-sided. So they have different things when they're flipped a different ways. So it shows the shell walker, the grazer, the scrapper, the strider, and the watcher. So the artwork's really nice. Again, you know, these have got the linen finish. So in certain light, you can see the texture. Look, and you can just check that out. So while it's a nice cardstock, it's nowhere near the cardstock quality that I've seen with Radlands, you know, and I hate to say it now, folks, the poly plastic coat on cards should be the standard now. So many people like to have snacks and things when they're playing games, and the Radlands cards are now indestructible. So maybe SFG might take note of that with some of their future games. But initial, you know, there we go. So we've unboxed Horizon Zero Dawn. I'm really impressed with the packaging. I think the trays are a must. I like it when people do trays for the games because it means they all fit in the box nicely. I mean, look at that. That just fits on there beautifully. Again, the spaces should be allowed for sleeving. Let's pop that in there. And it also means they're kept safe once they're painted. When you've got trays like this, I tend to find that there's less chance of, once they're painted and primed and varnished, in specific trays like this, they still fit and they kept safe and don't damage. So, you know, because let's face it, people buy these games as an investment. They want them and they want them to look nice. So, and then of course everything should fit back in nicely. Now, little useful piece of information is, of course, remember that these boxes are designed to store your game the way it was sent, with all your inserts. You know, with your they don't always go back together afterwards once everything's bagged up. But I'd like to think the spacing left over from this should still allow for everything to fit flush back together. Yeah, that's what he says. That's what I hope. So there we go. Let's pop the lid back on there. There we go. So that's unboxing Horizon Zero Dawn, the board game from Steamforged Games. Well, I'm really excited to do more with this. Like I said, we're going to be doing some painting videos of this as well, so watch out for this. This video will be released along with the review on the website. So if you're watching this, you can head on over to the website, which of course is diaryofalinkingeek.com. Or if you like to type things in a little bit shorter, you can head to doalg.co.uk and it'll take you to the same site. We absolutely love what we do, and we totally appreciate the things that you do with regards to following us and supporting us and our content. So please do head on over, and if you'd like, want to support us, you can head on to our Ko-fi and donate to us as well. That would be absolutely amazing. But if not, don't panic. We've got a really active Discord community, so if you want to, you can head on to our Discord. There's more information there. But there's our Discord link, and of course it's also on the website, so you don't have to worry about remembering all of these. If you just head to the website, you can sign up to everything there as well. It's been an absolute pleasure. I've been unboxing Horizon Zero Dawn, the board game. I've been Mr. Chris from Diary of a Linking Geek. Take care, stay safe, and keep gaming, everyone.